Several places served as economic, political, and social centers in Ethiopia's long history. During the Aksumite period, Aksum functioned as a political and economic center of the then empire. In the times that followed, various places served as seats of the kings of the times and as their political capitals. During the close of the 19th century, Ankober, the then center of Shoan kings, also functioned as a center of Ethiopian politics. In those days, Emperor Menelik was searching for a place with a natural strategic defense advantage. He also had in mind a place with easy food and firewood supplies. A number of places were candidates for a capital with the best of conveniences. The emperor finally settled on the cold hills of Entoto, where he had his palace constructed. Down the hills of Entoto was a place more convenient for living, which also had the much-needed hot springs. There, Menelik constructed his palace and made Addis Ababa the seat of his government. The then Addis Ababa positioned itself in the middle of a chain of majestic green mountains. The hills of Entoto were now the town shield as well as its reservoir of clean air. A little far from Entoto were the beautiful hills of Wajaja, Yerer, Zuga, and Furi. Addis was founded 120 years ago on an area of 600 square kilometers in a temperate climatic zone and suitably in the center of Ethiopia. The Arat Kilo Grand Palace is not only located on an elevated ground, but it is also the most elevated of political and administrative settings. The Grand Palace has 7 gates around which the royal officials were then made to settle. The chief map maker of these royal settlements is acknowledged to have been Etege Zaitu, Emperor Menelik's wife. In the last 120 years, Addis Ababa has served as the center of the country's major political, economic, and social events. And since the middle of the 20th century, it has proved itself as Africa's diplomatic capital with recognized global importance. In 1896, it was from Addis Ababa that the Emperor Menelik declared a war of defense against the Italian army of invasion. Ethiopians accepted the emperor's call to arms with enthusiasm and love of motherland and followed him to the hills of Adwa for the historic battle. When the victorious Ethiopian army of resistance under Emperor Menelik marched back to Addis Ababa, the city was now considered by all a city of good fortune. This lucky city enthusiastically hosted the jubilant's returning army, which defeated a modern European army. With time, Addis Ababa's flowering became evident. Litigants would come from all corners of the country to Grand Palace, where they would be provided lodging and boarding. As the number of foreign visitors increased, the need for opening a hotel emerged, and so the first hotel, Etege Hotel, is still operational. Addis Ababa, the new flower, has ever been flourishing as the first gateway to all modern things. Much like the fresh air it draws from the green belt of mountains, the city obtains its food supplies from fertile agricultural land in the environs. The city's several streams formed owing to the elevation as well as the heavy summer rains have helped in the modest ways in making the city less unclean. The streams seem custom made to address sanitary difficulties. Addis Ababa, a city of over 5 million residents, home to many African and global organizations, has been for long a haven of peace by African and even international standards. Its peaceful character emanates from the fact that the village settlements are not based on ethnic or religious economic lines. In many cities, neighborhoods are based on economic class, ethnic or religious similarity. Urban experts say this pattern of settlement does not create the best of conditions for the free mobility of citizens. The fact that no part of the city is based on ethnic, economic, or religious conditions has been in its own right a beauty, allowing everyone unconstrained mobility. The freedom from fear and security worries has made Addis Ababa an ideal city. Many say Addis Ababa, hosting of the African Union, the Economic Commission of Africa, headquarters and over 24 international institutions is due to the city's peaceful character and ideal weather. With over 100 embassies and diplomatic institutions, Addis Ababa has become a more international city than any city in Africa. Its friendly people and government have named a number of the city's avenues and streets after African countries. The life of the people of Ethiopia is reflected in Addis Ababa. Every day and every hour, many enter and exit through the city's 5 main gates. Food supplies arrive in the city while other items are dispatched to the regions daily. Through the years, Addis Ababa has been growing in importance and stature nationally, continentally, and internationally. The historical treasures of Ethiopia's multicultural and multi-ethnic groups have been preserved in the city's museums. The handicrafts and architectural heritage are in good hands. The remains of the earliest human, Lucy, are preserved in the National Museum. Besides being centers of worship and prayer, the churches and mosques have housed a wide diversity of artifacts, chronicles of kings, as well as preserving grave sites. Statues of victory and martyrs have been among the attractions of the city to residents and visitors alike. The city's green reserves have been ideal playgrounds for children, recreation sites for the youth, and a pride for the city's elderly. The age-old palaces that have stood the test of time reflect the belief systems and philosophy of our ancestry. Piazza, otherwise called Arada, which has remained the center of modernity, has also been administrative headquarters. The city's social, economical, and political policies issue from the office of the mayor. To the west of Arada or Piazza, as the Italians called it, the marketplace mercato, where every commodity is to be found. There is life in the hustle and bustle which so much typify the daily mercato. Much treasured attractions are the Grand Palace, the office of the Prime Minister, the House of Representatives, the House of the Federation and the Parliament building. Here at Arat Kilo also are the Ministry of Education, the Science Faculty of Addis Ababa University and the city's first school, Emperor Minilik School. Up north left and right are Tafari Mekonnen School and numerous other colleges. Up north is the Shiro Meda market, where traditional costumes of Ethiopian nations and nationalities are on sale. The ways the costumes are arranged is itself a major source of visual joy. Addis Ababa has ever been expanding, and today added to the list of its neighborhoods are the new residential and industrial quarters of CMC, Gerci, Altad, Hayat, Ropak, Elpa, Welete, and so on. The hotel industry, which commenced with Aitu Hotel, today has world-class hotels like the Sheraton Addis. The telecommunications sector, which was introduced about 100 years ago via cable from Djibouti, has been expanded and now includes mobile telephone and broadband internet services. Banking in Addis, which was heralded by the Bank of Abyssinia, has today grown in bounds. We have now state-of-the-art banking services by private and state banks as well as other financial institutions. The traditional medicine of the bygone days has now given way to modern medicine in private and government health institutions whose numbers are fast increasing. Modern road transport, which commenced with the small antiquated car of the old days, has grown dramatically and efforts are underway to improve and expand the roads of the city. Besides the ring road, arrangements are in place to ease traffic congestion in the city. And the city's hydroelectric power supply has now reached a dependable level. The number of embassies, which was 3 or 4 at the time of the founding of Addis, has grown to over 100. This is evidence the city is becoming more livable. Addis was, and continues to be, a center of fine arts, painting, and sports. Today, through the Ethiopian and African Millennium, an opportunity has arisen for Addis to reaffirm its relevance for Africa. The Addis Ababa International Airport has become increasingly hectic with planes landing and taking off every minute. Besides its modernity, it has dependable levels of security. The city master plan has been revised 4 times following the introduction of the municipal practice by the Empress Taichu. A master plan reflecting the city's current needs and realities has now been readied. The city has policies in place in ways suitable to its residents, business community, and visitors. The second millennium represents a milestone in the international, economic, and political spheres. The role of the government and investors in the growth and development of the city is certainly decisive. Addis is bracing up to meet the ever-growing needs of its inhabitants, and surely the future will see an Addis Ababa that is truly a flower. Happy Millennium, Happy New Year.
ቤቱ ብርሃን ሆኖ ምኒልክ ጀምሮ አበባ ሸብርቃ ካቡር ደምቃ ልቃ ሲወልድ ሲዋለድ ለሁለት ሺህ ስበስተዋደው አብረኸው የሚበሉ ለቡናው ለድግስ በአውደ ዓመት በሙሉ ምቹ ማረፊያዋ የተዋቡ ያማሩ